Hub Radio Phoenix is an internet-based podcast platform providing numerous special interest programs reaching over 100,000 viewers per week. Hi, I'm Ron Lutters, executive producer of Hub Radio Phoenix. We don't pretend to be journalists, but we're not afraid to say what's on our minds. We thank you for watching, liking, sharing, and subscribing to Hub Radio Phoenix. Stay tuned, stay faithful, as the best is yet to come.
Hi, this is Liz Harris, and I wanted to give a shout out to Hub Radio Phoenix. They have been amazing, especially when I ran for political office. They helped broadcast me, let the world know, and now that I'm involved in election integrity and helping prove that there was massive fraud here in Arizona, they have invited me on their show many times, and I am forever grateful. So please do watch Hub Radio Phoenix for the truth. Thank you.
Today, the world is full of misinformation. News stories on the surface may seem real, but under closer scrutiny are fake. Corruption and fraud are everywhere. There's a better political news and information website, BackstreetGossip.com, where you'll find the latest stories and information that's circling the media world. You'll see stories of the day and stories that will be discussed tomorrow. BackstreetGossip.com will provide you with informative content that any reader would be amazed to gossip about. BackstreetGossip.com, providing information from Earth and beyond. Fake news and leftist commentary have left listeners looking for the truthful news, reasonable analysis, and real-life solutions to America's complex issues. Sound like an impossible task? Well, it's not. There's something new, honesty in reporting, something exciting, something that is cutting edge. Fighting Back is a Hub Radio production that takes a deep dive into the murky world of unbridled state, local, national, and international political intrigue. And of course, Fighting Back also has a softer side. Tune in every Wednesday night from 7 to 8 p.m. Google Hub Radio Phoenix, click on the link, and then click on Video Live to be inspired by new perspectives on daily issues. Fighting Back, clarifying the confusion of 21st century mayhem.
Hi, I'm Marta Llamas and I own a commercial cleaning company. Now that many people will be getting back to work, let's get your facility ready for them with our total disinfecting, wipe down, and fogging procedures. Our two-step process will help you ensure that your offices are safe. Call me today for a free estimate, and together we can help protect your employees. Thank you, and let's continue to stay safe.
From the studios of Hub Radio Phoenix, it's the Jay Lawrence Show. Now, here's Jay.
Well, hello everyone. Good evening and welcome. This is September 16th, 2001, and you are watching the Jay Lawrence Show. Now, Jay could not make it tonight. My name is Ray Michaels, and I am the guest host along with this lovely lady here. This is Doris Paxton.
Thank you, Ray. It's good to be here tonight.
Well, Doris, you know Jay pretty intimately.
I do know Jay. I know Jay a long time now.
How long have you, your whole life?
My whole life.
Yeah?
Whole life, yeah.
Now, why is that?
Because he's my dad.
He's your dad.
He's my dad.
Wow. Well, Jay, we know that you're watching. We wish you well. We know the whole family is watching. Doris, your lovely daughter, is here as well. And what a wonderful co-host you're going to be.
Well, thank you. You know, I'm developing some skills. I made it here. We only had to bump off a couple of the state presidents and things like that, and we made it.
Now, what she's talking about is originally scheduled for tonight's show was our Arizona State Senate president. Mm-hmm. And that is Karen Fann, and she's been in the news quite a bit. Everybody knows about the Honorable Karen Fann. Unfortunately, some scheduling difficulties that she had. She's not able to make it tonight, but we do have a great show planned for you, so please don't go away. And we will be updating you just a little bit on what's happening with Arizona's audit, or as we say here, America's Audit.
Oh,
now
right.
We do have a special guest for you. He is a frequent, he comes on quite a bit on some of the other Hub Radio shows that we have here. And he is actually on the line right now. This is Representative Walt Blackman. Hello, Walt. Are you there?
Hey, how you doing, buddy? Thanks for having me. I do appreciate it.
Well, I'll tell you what, we love having you here. Now, if you're unfamiliar with Walt Blackman, he is a representative from up north, and he is also running for a new position. Walt, do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Absolutely. And hello to everybody out there in Streamland. I'm Walt Blackman, and I'm running for Congress in Congressional District 1. However, we know with the new maps, this might change the congressional districts. It's looking like it'll probably be either 2 or 9, just depends.
Oh.
I'm the current state representative, been there for 2 terms, and a combat veteran, fought in Iraq and Afghanistan, and awarded the Bronze Star. And I just want to continue to fight for the American people and make sure that our kids have a country to live in.
Yeah.
Amen to that. And one thing that you forgot to mention with all those other accolades is all around general good guy.
Yes.
Thanks. We sure to tell my wife that.
And a wonderful father as well, I should say that.
Thank you.
Walt, I know that this is kind of last minute, and I wanted to ask you about a couple things going on. General Milley, what we've heard recently, and I think President Trump said it best, where if this is true, it is treason. Now, he is receiving accolades from the other side saying, oh, you know what, he just really cares about this country, and he did the right thing, and if he feels uncomfortable, that's the route that he should take. Now, Walt, you were there. I mean, you've received the Bronze Star. You've been in combat and in battle, and you have a team that you had to make life and death decisions. And I wanted to get your take, because you have the personal experience being right there on the front line.
Yeah, sure. So, here's the deal. There's a reason why we have the chain of command. And what this general has done is he has planted a poison-pilled seed by demonstrating that he would go around the chain of command or not follow orders. Now, if one of his subordinates did that, didn't follow the orders, or went around or circumventing him as a 4-star general commander, then he would definitely try to have this person either disciplined, court-martial, what have you. What this general did, I don't even call him a general anymore, what this person did is he violated one of the sacred trust and honor codes of the military tradition, and that is not following the directives of the chain of command. Now, President Trump issued no such orders to what he was trying to do. So there wasn't an issue about an unlawful order. This guy went outside the chain of command, went outside of his lane, and started acting independently. Okay, that is why we have civilians in charge of the military, and not the other way around. We're not a banana republic, and this guy set us up for one. He needs to be removed at least, or court-martialed for treason.
Now, you being a commander, being a leader in your team, you have to make life and death decisions. And
Yes.
and the people that are down the chain from where you are, if they don't follow those, then they're altering that decision, meaning that the people around them, they could be at risk as well. And that's why chain of command is so important.
Exactly. He just set a bad precedence right here. Anyone that has worn the uniform knows and understands the difference between a lawful order and an unlawful order. In this case, there was no order given. He went outside his lane and actually did some things that were treasonous. And for the left to praise him, they really don't understand the security apparatus of the United States and how the Department of Defense functions. At minimum, Lloyd Austin should have removed him he's the Secretary of Defense. He should remove him in his position. And again, the guy should be court-martialed. He should be taken out of the military, because he has done something that any ordinary soldier would be placed in Leavenworth for the rest of their lives.
Yeah. Doris, the Constitution is such an amazing, it's an amazing group of writings, and
ideas.
The way that it was written so simplistically. That's my point. Now, when you think of something is written in the Constitution, it's not that long. It really isn't. And it's
the
got to
length
be
of the Constitution itself, or
the length.
Yeah, it's not. It's
and
not
so
long.
whatever's written in there is very, very important. Now,
Absolutely.
it specifically says that if you aid and abet against our nation, that it is treason. And by doing that, and knowing that it's in the Constitution, a lot of people say, well, this is constitutional, but it's not written there. It's just implied. This is actually written there. Now, you brought up a really good point that I know you wanted to ask Walt, because this information didn't just come out.
And it didn't just happen. It happened back when Trump was president, right?
Exactly.
And reporters knew about it.
Yeah.
But they held it for a book that wasn't released until now.
Oh, so it was a book then. It was the reason why we're hearing this now is because of the book.
Right.
I missed that part. That's great. Well, they're picking and choosing very carefully what's coming out. And they could say anything they want. They don't say the truth, and yet they're gonna get us all upset and incite riots probably coming up over this. So it seems to me that they know exactly what they're doing with releasing this information. I think they're trying to take over our country. I think the left is trying to take over and ruin everything. And I think the Declaration of Independence spells it out even clearer than the Constitution about what happens when you get people in power that are not good, and it lays out everything that they might do that would be worth, that would demand that we go in and take that whole administration out. I don't mean with guns like the army or military does, but
but to redress grievances.
Absolutely.
Right?
No, that's beyond treason. It's our duty as American citizens, I think, to go and replace these people. I don't know how it's going to happen, but I really feel like the Declaration sounds like it's for right now. Take the part about the king and the queen out. It's happening. That's what's happening in our country right now. I think getting Millie, he's just another pawn, I think.
Doris, to your point, there's a lot of things that come out, and a free press is so very important, but it seems as though people are withholding important information. I'll give another example. The Biden laptop, right?
Yeah.
We know that there was bad things on there, and he could be arrested for a number of those things that he's on tape doing. Yet they did not release that information, and they still haven't charged him with anything, even though they have the facts in hand. And it's kind of the same thing here. If Trump knew that this phone call was made to a foreign government that would give them, he said, I will give you a heads up before if something like this happens.
We said we're friends. Yeah, we're friends. Of course I would give you a heads up. Yeah.
So that is treason, and I think that the reason why it didn't come out is because it would be a completely different story about now. Do you agree?
Walt?
Yeah, I do. And let's peel the onion back on this. If we think about during the Obama administration, we had a really good general, conservative general named General McChrystal. He was in charge, or he was a commander in Afghanistan. And during the Obama administration, Obama wanted him to do some things that were just crazy. He got no face time with the president to talk about what needed to happen in Afghanistan. Great general, great commander. And he had an interview with Rolling Stones, and the only thing that this commander said was, Obama has not been out to Afghanistan to meet with me on any occasions, nor has he invited me to the White House. And guess what? They relieved him. They relieved him for coming out with that. Now we've got a general that has gone outside the chain of command, and if you really think about it, this is a topic for the State Department, the Secretary of State, not a active duty general to go and call China and say, hey, listen, if we're getting ready to do something, we're going to call you.
Right.
This guy is not the Secretary of State. He's the Chief of Staff or the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, and he has performed in a way that has made this whole issue just more dangerous and set us up for failure later on.
Well, it seems to me that his allegiance was to his friend and counterpart in China as opposed to his very own country. And that's just very, very sad. Hey, Walt, we need to take a quick break here. Can you stay with us till the next segment?
Yeah.
All right, we'd love to have you here. You are watching The Jay Lawrence Show. My name is Ray Michaels. This is the lovely Doris Paxton.
Thank you.
Stick around. Don't go away.
When it comes to roof work, people ask, do you know a guy? Let me save you a little time and money. Call me. I'm Lori Clark, owner of Right Way Roofing. Our family started in the roofing business in 1963 on the promise, there's only one way, the right way. We protect your roof with thick, waterproof, rubberized asphalt, not felt paper. So when it's time to repair or replace your roof and you need a guy, I'm your girl.
We're Right Way Roofing and we do it right. We'll always keep you watertight.
Hey, I'm known as the toughest sheriff in America, but I'll tell you one thing, when I want the real story, I go to that tough station called Hub Radio Phoenix to get the real story.
Are you tired of the long lines and impersonal service you get at the post office? Well, we have a solution for you. Pack Mail is an all-in-one mail center conveniently located in the Fry Shopping Center at 3218 East Bell Road, right here in Phoenix. Owned and operated by Arizona residents Mark and Vicky Battaglia, you can be sure of getting personalized professional service. They will pack, crate, freight, and ship your items anywhere in the world. They work with all the major carriers like DHL, UPS, USPS, and Federal Express. Need an address for your home business or startup company? They have P.O. boxes on site where you can receive and pick up your mail anytime, and their knowledgeable and courteous staff will find a way to ship that awkward or heavy item. You can even have your packages picked up and delivered for a small fee. Their motto is, if you can imagine it, we can ship it. Drop in on the good folks at Pack Mail and let them do the work for you. Pack Mail can be reached at 602-971-2300 or email at info@weshipphoenix.com. That's Pack Mail, 602-971-2300 or info@weshipphoenix.com.
You have a great business, terrific products, outstanding services, so where is everybody? It's simple. They don't know you're here. Why not? We didn't tell them. Well, let me introduce you to the Media Maven. She is the expert in getting your advertising message to the right people in the right places for the right prices. She can make your business a household name. She can make this claim because she's been doing this for years for large and small businesses. You need an expert who knows who to talk to and how to make the best deal for your business. She has the right radio and television contacts for your budget, whatever it is. That's Kathy, the Media Maven. She can put you on the map, the one that leads to success and prosperity. Call Kathy, the Media Maven, at 602-524-0947. That's Kathy, the Media Maven, at 602-524-0947.
You're watching Jay Lawrence on Hub Radio Phoenix.
Well, welcome back. You're watching The Jay Lawrence Show. My name is Ray Michaels. This is Doris Paxton. And it just happens to be Jay Lawrence's daughter. So I kind of feel that he's here with us.
Me too.
In spirit. He is.
Yeah.
Now,
Thanks.
we are on the phone with Representative Walt Blackman, and he is actually a candidate. He's running for District 1 for U.S. Congress. This is amazing, huh? All right, so Walt, I know that you served in Afghanistan, and again, thank you so much for your service. We appreciate it so much. And, I wanted to talk to you about something that I read, and this was pretty crazy. It says that there's chaos in Afghanistan. The economy is melting down. People are starving, and Taliban fractions are brawling at the palace. Now, Walt, you were there. Yes. Tell us. I think any reasonable person could have anticipated with an exit like we performed that something like this was going to happen.
Yeah, sure. And this was actually already planned out because in the military planning, there are a lot of what if scenarios. So I guarantee you the intelligence folks, the smart folks that plan these operations of withdrawals have planned this. If this happens, what's going to happen to the country? And exactly, I can guarantee you this was planned out. This was also briefed to Biden. If you do this, this will happen. And what happened is exactly what we are seeing on the TV. The Taliban are a unforgiving enemy. What they will do is they will take this window of opportunity that they have seized on the world stage and hold America hostage. Not just the citizens that they have left behind, that the Biden administration left behind, but America hostage because of what we did. Now we look weak to the other countries. We look like we are not organized. We look like our armed forces are actually running rogue and doing their own thing because of what Milley did. We are a weak country on the world stage because of this Biden administration.
And it's, they seem to want to perpetuate a cover-up. Our Blinken was just there, Secretary of State, and he was saying, oh, we have hundreds, and now there's thousands of people that are still left there. And there was another report that I thought was very, very interesting, is they were receiving and wanted to receive accolades for killing this suicide bomber before he went in and blew up some more of our Americans and Afghans. And this just came in that suicide bomber that was killed by the drone in Kabul was actually an aid worker. And he was there helping people. He was there with his family. And again, they tried to cover this up. And when he was asked about this, well, we're going to need to check into it. And I think, Rand Paul said it best, Doris, when he said, don't you think that you should know who you're going to blow up before you do it? I mean, I'm paraphrasing, but I don't see where they have a handle on anything that's happening over there, Walt.
They really don't. And it's because one, Biden is not getting the intelligence briefs that he should get, or he doesn't understand them. If you remember, they said this about Trump, that he wasn't using the intelligence, that he wasn't listening to the briefings. This is a case of that really happening. President Trump listened to the briefings because in his plan for withdrawal of Afghanistan, he actually told them, if you do this, if you try to collapse Afghanistan the way that you are historically known to do, we will kill you. We will go after you. That's why you didn't see this during the Trump administration. But as soon as Trump got out of office, or he served his 4 years, the election was stolen from him, in my opinion. They tried to whitewash everything that the Trump administration did, to include his national security plan, just because of a political gain. And this is what they have done. And by doing this, they have made America weaker. We have a big target on our back from the Taliban, ISIS, and those countries that wish us ill will. So it's just a huge mess that we have fallen into because of the incompetency of the Biden administration.
I'm not so well informed about this. I try to read up as much as I can. I was never there. I never served in the military, and I greatly respect the people that do, as I know that you do as well. But when we think of the narrative that is being pushed, where it says this is an unending war, but yet we know for the last 18 months that there were no military killed there in Afghanistan. And we know that they said we have to get everybody out, although President Trump had a lot of criteria. We will leave under these conditions. And they bring up the narrative, Doris, that we can't be there forever. Yet we're in South Korea, we're in Japan, we're in Germany for much, much longer. So, Walt, just your perspective of this, and then we're going to come back into the beautiful state of Arizona. But your perspective on the narrative of this was an unending war. What's the true story?
So here's the deal, and you've nailed it right on the head. We've been in Germany since the end of World War II. We've been in Korea about, a long time. We've been in Korea since the end of since the truce was signed in Korea. And Afghanistan is a little bit different from Germany and Korea, because there was never a ceasefire or an end of hostile activity in Afghanistan. That's why we were able to draw it down to about 2,000 troops, assisting the Afghan army and making sure that the Afghan army had what they needed to sustain themselves. We did the same thing in Vietnam, but we did that at the beginning of Vietnam when we had advisors advising the South Vietnamese army to defend themselves. We saw how that ended up. The withdrawal plan should have went something similar to this. And this is something that I wasn't in on the intelligence briefings. However, just being there in the country, this is what I would have done. I would have pushed the perimeter, not a few feet out, but I would have pushed the perimeter out about 10 to 15 miles from Kabul. Made sure that 300,000 Afghan army that we've trained over the last 20 years were the primary front line of that perimeter. Then we would have had a cushion to bring Americans into a safe zone to get them out of the country. Once we got the Americans out of the country, we could have collapsed back to about 5 miles and slowly did the transfer of authority to the Afghan and allowing the American forces to leave or leaving a small contingencies of Americans in Afghanistan. That is something that I envision seeing what should have happened in Afghanistan. And I'm not even part of this was done all wrong. We wouldn't have been there any longer than at least 2025, in my opinion, if it was done correctly.
Yeah, it just seems as though he felt that he needed, I'm talking about our Pino, the president in name only, as Ron Letters always says, that he wanted to show some sort of accomplishment, and he tried to take what President Trump had skillfully negotiated, but he forgot all the important features and the key points of getting out of there under certain conditions and criteria. He just thought that, we'll just leave. And we know exactly what happened. And it's just, it's horrible that something like that took place. But you know what? We want to bring you back to the beautiful state of Arizona. And Walt, I know that you and your family love it here so much, and that you running for Congress is going to be such a blessing to the state of Arizona. Now,
thank you.
Can you stay with us, because we have to take another break?
Yeah, absolutely.
We got to pay for the program. That's what it is, Doris, right?
Absolutely.
I'm with you.
All right. You're watching the Jay Lawrence Show. I'm Ray Michaels. This is Doris Paxton.
Yes.
Stick around. We have Walt Blackman, Representative Walt Blackman, here with us. So stick around. We'll be right back.
Are you tired of the long lines and impersonal service you get at the post office? Well, we have a solution for you. Pack Mail is an all-in-one mail center conveniently located in the Fry Shopping Center at 3218 East Bell Road, right here in Phoenix. Owned and operated by Arizona residents Mark and Vicky Battaglia, you can be sure of getting personalized professional service. They will pack, crate, freight, and ship your items anywhere in the world. They work with all the major carriers like DHL, UPS, USPS, and Federal Express. Need an address for your home business or startup company? They have P.O. boxes on site where you can receive and pick up your mail anytime, and their knowledgeable and courteous staff will find a way to ship that awkward or heavy item. You can even have your packages picked up and delivered for a small fee. Their motto is, if you can imagine it, we can ship it. Drop in on the good folks at Pack Mail and let them do the work for you. Pack Mail can be reached at 602-971-2300 or email at info@weshipphoenix.com. That's Pack Mail, 602-971-2300 or info@weshipphoenix.com.
Hello, Arizona. This is State Senate candidate Anthony Kern, District 20. And when I'm out fighting the woke culture in Arizona, I like to listen to the truth. I like to listen to the real scoop. And therefore, I listen to Hub Radio Phoenix, and you should too.
Hey folks, Pinal County Sheriff Mark Lamb here. With the increase in private businesses and even government organizations talking about mandating the vaccine, I wanted to let you know that here at the Pinal County Sheriff's Office, we do not mandate the vaccine, and as long as I'm your sheriff, we will never mandate the vaccine. We believe that your health choices are yours and yours alone, so whether you get the vaccine or don't get the vaccine, that's your private information. Here, we believe in America and freedom, and we're going to continue on with that. God bless.
You have a great business, terrific products, outstanding services, so where is everybody? It's simple. They don't know you're here. Why not? We didn't tell them. Well, let me introduce you to the Media Maven. She is the expert in getting your advertising message to the right people in the right places for the right prices. She can make your business a household name. She can make this claim because she's been doing this for years for large and small businesses. You need an expert who knows who to talk to and how to make the best deal for your business. She has the right radio and television contacts for your budget, whatever it is. That's Kathy, the Media Maven. She can put you on the map, the one that leads to success and prosperity. Call Kathy, the Media Maven, at 602-524-0947. That's Kathy, the Media Maven, at 602-524-0947.
When it comes to roof work, people ask, do you know a guy? Let me save you a little time and money. Call me. I'm Lori Clark, owner of Right Way Roofing. Our family started in the roofing business in 1963 on the promise, there's only one way, the right way. We protect your roof with thick, waterproof, rubberized asphalt, not felt paper. So when it's time to repair or replace your roof and you need a guy, I'm your girl.
We're Right Way Roofing and we do it right. We'll always keep you watertight.
You're watching Jay Lawrence on Hub Radio Phoenix.
Welcome back. This is the Jay Lawrence Show, and I'm Doris Paxton, and with me is Ray Michaels. And also we have Walt Blackman on the phone right now. We're talking to him. Walt, I wanted to ask you a question, if I could ask you what you thought about Larry Elder not winning in California. And somehow we recalled Gavin Newsom. I mean, we didn't recall him. What do you think about that?
You change the results, but you're doing the same thing wrong. And I am not surprised that the Democrats and the liberal left have painted Larry Elders out to be a blackface who represents or is a white supremacist. That is ludicrous.
Just state what they said in California once again, because this is the pinnacle of absurdity. Tell exactly what they said.
They said Larry Elders is the blackface of white supremacy.
That's so inside out.
That is so ridiculous. Yeah. Even Stevie Wonder can see that, and he's been blind his whole life. And this is exactly what the left does. They go to their toolbox of racism. They call this every time, and now they've gotten so ridiculous. They are calling black people white supremacists. That's ridiculous. Yeah. So Larry Elder would have been good for California. He would have been good for the economy. Mm-hmm. Very conservative, very thoughtful in his thinking, methodical about how to turn around California. But the left doesn't want it because the left is fearful of black Americans who can speak up for themselves, and they are off the Democrat plantation. And that's why they don't like Larry Elder, and that's why they don't like me too, because we think for ourselves.
Well, Walt, when you ran for this last term as a representative, you had a lot of pushback from money coming in from California, and it would not be out of the realm of possibilities for them to do the exact same thing to you. Now, we're showing your picture here. Your name is Blackman, and you are obviously a black man. But they could say that exact same thing about you. That Walt Blackman is the face of white supremacy, and it's so absurd. It's almost like they're grabbing at straws. Anything.
Yes.
Now, I don't know if you saw this, but Doris, I think you saw it. It was on Twitter. It was a black man in his family in New York, and they asked only them for their vaccine passport. Did you see this, Walt?
No, but I've heard about that.
Yeah, this has gone totally viral. I wish that we had it here. This man stood up. He said, "You haven't asked anybody else for their vaccine passport. This is the pinnacle of racism." And he stood up and he asked everybody, "Is this okay? Is this the America you want to live with?" And one guy showed him the finger.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, if we... I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, it's so divisive, this whole idea that if you make a medical decision with your doctor, you make a religious decision on your own, that, whether or not you like it, you agree with it, but you make your own personal decision. We live in a country that is individual rights, individual liberties, individual freedoms, that people are going to start going back and forth against each other. That it just doesn't make any sense.
Well, and it's funny. The Democrats have a short memory. If you recall history, there was a thing that the Democrats really pushed on the black community. It's called the Tuskegee experiment.
Right.
Now, you also hear the Biden administration will typically say that black Americans are at a low percentage not getting the shot. They are not getting the shot. Well, let me tell you what, guy. The last time you tried to give us shots, you ran that experiment and gave black Americans a syphilis, and then say that you were treating it, but you weren't. So the smart black Americans are like, yeah, I don't think I'm going to do that anymore. So what they have done is their memory is so short that they expect the black community just to follow along like a lapdog, and that is not what the black community has evolved to. We are a thinking, smart, intelligent community that's outside of the liberal graphs and the socialist graphs of the left, and we think for ourselves. This is a free country. Liberty is part of the Constitution, and liberty involves all. So the 14th Amendment says equal protection under the law. So guess what? The federal government cannot force us to do anything that we do not want to do, and that applies to all Americans, just not black Americans.
No, absolutely. And, what was funny is if you don't know history and they think that the Tuskegee experiment was the same as the Tuskegee Airmen.
Yeah, right.
And I think Joe Biden made that gaffe as well. I thought that was, but he's the same guy that looked at everybody and they said, we're all going to put you all back in chains.
Wow.
If you don't vote for me, then you're not really black. I mean,
exactly.
It's just insane stuff that's going on. All right, we're coming back to the beautiful state of Arizona, and I know you worked so hard in this last session for election integrity, for making sure that we don't have mask mandates, and a lot of great things happened in this last session.
Yes.
But for some reason, the federal government, who is supposed to be the child in the parent-child relationship, you know this. The states are sovereign nations, and we got together and we said we want somebody to make sure that we protect our borders, that we sign foreign treaties, and that we play nice, interstate
very limited
commerce.
Role, really.
And now they're saying, no, we want to get involved, and we want to make sure that this vaccine that is, again, did not go through the proper protocol that all other vaccines have gone through. It's not really listed as a vaccine if you take it back a couple of years because they did change the definition.
Yes.
But now,
none of the companies are liable for any damages, which is never like that.
But now the federal government wants, and they don't do it in a way where it's an executive order. They're doing it as they did with the CDC, with the extension for the moratorium on rentals. He said, well, I can't do it, but I'm going to have the CDC do it. Well, these are not elected officials, and we are consent of the governed. Nobody consented for them to do that. And now he's saying that OSHA, from a 1960s law, has the ability under an emergency guideline to force vaccines on. Now, here in the state of Arizona, our Attorney General, Branovich, actually was the first to file suit against the federal government by Arizona and on behalf of us against that legal action against the vax mandates. Now, Walt, as a representative, and you represent a large area as well, are you on board with this? Tell us where you stand on that.
Well, actually not. The federal government did not make the states. The states made the federal government.
Right.
And as Arizona, as you know, you said it, Arizona is a sovereign state. So actually, the federal government coming into Arizona and telling its people that they have to get the shot or they have to wear a mask, so on and so forth. Number one, it's unconstitutional. Number two, we as a state, we don't have to do that because we are a sovereign state. And if you really look at it, if they are picking and choosing winners with this COVID ID, the COVID shot, making employers and private enterprises either pay a fine of $14,000 or get your folks vaccinated, guess what? That's a civil rights issue. And if you look at the 1964 Civil Rights Act, It directly points to that. They cannot discriminate against someone because they decide not to take a shot. They cannot fire somebody because they decide not to take a shot. The federal government has fell off the rocker here. I think they were asleep at the wheel. Sleepy Joe Biden reminds me at a weekend at Bernie's. This is what this is all about. And we just have to make sure that we challenge the federal government and let them and send them a clear message. You will not tell Arizona what to do.
Yeah, and Doris, I get a little suspicious and a little bit worried that we are so relying on the judicial branch to solve these issues, because you may get a radical judge, you may get a very liberal judge who says, "Oh yeah, that's what we want to do." I mean, look what they were doing to Donald Trump. He was, saying we need to do this, and then a judge in Hawaii comes out and says, "No, he can't do that." Well, the president is elected by everyone. The judge is selected. So I don't think that they should have that much power. And when we rely so heavily on what the court system decides, I don't know. I think we may be opening up a Pandora's box. That's just my own opinion. Doris, do you have any?
Well, yeah. When it's all lies, when we're not getting the truth anymore, the American people aren't really getting the truth about anything, and when they're lied to, then they're believing it. They're not looking for other ways to get the truth. They just believe it. Like, we know that if you tell a lie over and over enough times, people are going to believe it. So we're not getting the truth, and anything that's happening, I think they're doing it. We get riled up, and we don't get the truth, and so people are believing that these kinds of things can go on. I honestly think that these elections that are taking place, the fraud in these elections is going to, they're trying out a new method. The left wants to stay in power forever, I think, and this is how they're going to do it.
But do you think that the judicial system should be the be-all and end-all to make up these decisions?
Well, I think it's very strange that you have to sue somebody for anything to change in this country right off the bat. Nothing changes until people get sued. So it is a very interesting thing. The judicial system is being used and
it's weighted,
played.
It's weighted very heavily now on the federal government. And Walt, there's so many more questions. I know that you are headed back home. Can you stay with us for the last segment?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. I'm here for you.
I want you to thank you so much. And I want you to think about this, because this was another headline. The DOJ starts to restrict law enforcement. We're talking about each individual state.
Yeah.
But that's the little teaser. Stick around. You are on The Jay Lawrence Show. I'm Ray Michaels.
And I'm Doris Paxton.
And we will be right back.
You have a great business, terrific products, outstanding services, so where is everybody? It's simple. They don't know you're here. Why not? We didn't tell them. Well, let me introduce you to the Media Maven. She is the expert in getting your advertising message to the right people in the right places for the right prices. She can make your business a household name. She can make this claim because she's been doing this for years for large and small businesses. You need an expert who knows who to talk to and how to make the best deal for your business. She has the right radio and television contacts for your budget, whatever it is. That's Kathy, the Media Maven. She can put you on the map, the one that leads to success and prosperity. Call Kathy, the Media Maven, at 602-524-0947. That's Kathy, the Media Maven, at 602-524-0947.
When it comes to roof work, people ask, do you know a guy? Let me save you a little time and money. Call me. I'm Lori Clark, owner of Right Way Roofing. Our family started in the roofing business in 1963 on the promise, there's only one way, the right way. We protect your roof with thick, waterproof, rubberized asphalt, not felt paper. So when it's time to repair or replace your roof and you need a guy, I'm your girl.
We're Right Way Roofing and we do it right. We'll always keep you watertight.
Are you tired of the long lines and impersonal service you get at the post office? Well, we have a solution for you. Pack Mail is an all-in-one mail center conveniently located in the Fry Shopping Center at 3218 East Bell Road, right here in Phoenix. Owned and operated by Arizona residents Mark and Vicky Battaglia, you can be sure of getting personalized professional service. They will pack, crate, freight, and ship your items anywhere in the world. They work with all the major carriers like DHL, UPS, USPS, and Federal Express. Need an address for your home business or startup company? They have P.O. boxes on site where you can receive and pick up your mail anytime, and their knowledgeable and courteous staff will find a way to ship that awkward or heavy item. You can even have your packages picked up and delivered for a small fee. Their motto is, if you can imagine it, we can ship it. Drop in on the good folks at Pack Mail and let them do the work for you. Pack Mail can be reached at 602-971-2300 or email at info@weshipphoenix.com. That's Pack Mail, 602-971-2300 or info@weshipphoenix.com.
You're watching Jay Lawrence on Hub Radio Phoenix.
Watching the Jay Lawrence Show. Here we are. Thank you for letting us be part of your evening, as my dad would say. And with me is Ray Michaels tonight. We're talking with Walt Blackman on the phone. And we were right in the middle of talking about our situation here.
Yeah.
The good things in Arizona are that we have our audit coming, those big stories coming out.
Yeah, we're going to get into the audit here in just a minute, but we left you hanging because the DOJ is starting to restrict law enforcement. Now, I saw this coming, Walt, when Speaker Pelosi said that she wanted to set up Capitol Police satellites in different states. I'm thinking, you know what? Yeah, something is very fishy. And as a state, we should say absolutely not. The federal government has no right to do anything like that. They have no jurisdiction here. And now the DOJ is starting to restrict law enforcement. Walt, what do you know about what's going on with the Phoenix Police Department?
There's an investigation that they're looking into the conduct of the officers there. And this is just another plan for the left and Pelosi crew to try to control law enforcement because they simply don't like what law enforcement stands for and what they do. In a nutshell, the Pelosi crew, they're trying to federalize police by putting in these satellite Capitol police officers. This is when the sheriff's departments have to draw the line. Because the sheriff is the last and on that last line of defense in different counties. So I'm hoping that sheriffs step up and stand against this and not let this happen. However, but as a legislative body, we need to make sure that we send a clear message to Nancy Pelosi and the other crazy town crew up there in D.C., the AOCs and what have you, that we will not stand for this as Arizonans because we are the sovereign state.
Yeah, for those of you, I'm sure you're following these stories. You know, the Phoenix Police Department, and we support here at Hub Radio. Doris, I know that your dad, Jay Lawrence Show, everything that's that we stand for, we support our military, we support our police, our first responders, our firefighters, because every day they go out there and there's a chance that they may not come home to their families every night, and we admire and we appreciate everything that they do. Now, why the Department of Justice feels that they need to start implementing things, this federal overreach is far too great. And I hope that we have the people in key positions, our elected officials, that will do exactly what you talked about, Walt, is to stand up there. And I know that you would. If you were in Congress right now, you would stand up and you'd say, absolutely not in my state. It's not going to happen.
Exactly.
So what is the best course of action for this? Who is it? Is it the state representatives? Is it collectively the governor? Is it our congressmen? Is it our senators? Or is it all of them should stand up?
Everyone should stand up. And not only just elected officials, but actually the citizens of Arizona. This is a clear overreach of the federal government. The job of a state representative is to protect its citizens from the federal government. This is where we have to earn our money, and we have to actually do something to protect the citizens of Arizona. This is an obvious overreach. We all know this. However, I will remind everyone when Obama ran for office, one of the key things he said in his speech is that he was going to fundamentally change the country. So we know that he's a student of socialism because of who he studied under, and this is where we're at. So it really shouldn't be any surprise to us if we've been paying attention of what the country has evolved to. That's why they stole the elections, so they can run these types of laws and overreach to the American public.
And it seems like they're trying to bankrupt us as well. I mean, with all these stimuluses and the way that they word things, and they say, "Oh, we're going to be building things, we're going to be doing things," and it's just all gobbledygook. And you know, people with a lot less fortitude than you have, they give up. You know, Doris, a lot of people say, "You know what am I going to do? I'm one person. I'm just going to give up." But then we have the true patriots like you, Walt, like Liz Harris, and like our Senate President, Karen Fann. Now, Karen was supposed to be here tonight, and I know that she's extremely busy, and everybody's talking about Arizona's audit, or as we like to say on the program, America's audit. Now, I'm looking at Twitter right now. Carrie Lake, who is running for Arizona governor on the Republican Party, she just tweeted out, breaking Arizona audit news. The Arizona Forensic Audit Report is going to be presented next Friday. That is September 24th at 1 p.m. on the Arizona Senate floor. It will be presented to Chairman Peterson, Senate President Karen Fann, and the gallery will be open to the public. Now, Doris, I have a hard time believing that they're going to actually let it be open to the public. Walt, will you be down here for that?
Yes, I will, because that's an important announcement. And I would hope that they really would open it up to the public and actually pipe it out live TV, because this is what the public needs. We need to know that our elections we need to restore confidence in our elections. But what I want to take it a step further. After they reveal what went on in the audit, what lies were told, we should automatically go into emergency session. And from that emergency session, and based on the evidence that we find on this audit, we need to go ahead and indict those folks who have anything to do with this. Doesn't matter what side of the line they are, right, left, independent, or whatever they're at, and we need to hold people accountable. We need to put people in jail. And I don't care if it is anyone in the governor's office, in the House of Representatives, or the Senate. If somebody had something to do with this, stealing this election, we need to hold those folks accountable. We need to put them in jail, but we need to do that by going into emergency session. And that's what I'm calling for the governor to do.
Well, and that's wonderful. You know what? You're hearing it right here on the Jay Lawrence Show. I didn't know that you called for that, but this is Representative Walt Blackman, and he has called for the governor to go ahead and use your own words.
Put us in emergency session so we can hold those accountable that stole this election.
All right. I think that's a great idea. And, you know, Doris, I've talked about this on Ron Letter's show many, many times. And, you know, this should be commonplace. We should, as Liz Harris wants, we should have 1 day of voting. You can only do ballot by mail under certain circumstances. You know, you're in the military, you're incapacitated, some of those criteria. That we keep the legislative districts, those areas, very small, so it can be counted right away. Paper ballots, the new ballots that Mark Fincham, who is just endorsed by President Trump, I might say,
remember that.
For Secretary of State, and have it all done, and then we go right into a mandatory audit. Every time we do an election, it should be immediately, there should be criteria from the state legislature that we immediately audit it over the next week or 2 weeks, however long it takes. And that's just a standard procedure so that we know right away, here's our election, here's the audit, we feel very comfortable about this, and we can get on with our lives instead of extending it out 10 and 11 months out there.
Well, Walt, I wonder what would happen if, what can we do when we find out that it was all real, that it was all that the election was stolen and it was all a big fake? What will the left and the right be able to do? What will the right be able to do? That's where I'm really concerned about. what will we be able to do about it? We won't be able to take Biden out of power, right?
No. So, and you're exactly right. We need to have realistic expectations. There is nothing in the Constitution that says that we can remove a president based on this. There's nothing there. And I have spoken to people in clubs around the state about this. And of course, people want President Trump to be returned to office. However,
that's for sure.
We're in uncharted territory right here when we're talking about the Constitution. There's nothing in the Constitution that speaks to that. However, going forward, we can make sure that this type of thing doesn't happen. And if it does happen, we have mitigated the crisis to a point to where we can do something to restore what should have been actually there. The House and the Senate, we need to get on board with this and make sure that we are given the correct message, not unrealistic expectations, and hold those people accountable that stole this election.
Well, I'll tell you what. You are absolutely right. We are talking, and we had the whole hour with you. Thank you so much, Representative Walt Blackman. He is running for Congress in District 1. So we give us your website if people want to support you.
Absolutely. If people would go to www.blackmanforcongress.com, you can find all my talking points. You can find my platform, and you can find exactly what I'm going to do in Congress, what I have done in the State House, and my continued fight to save our country, protect our Constitution, and ensure that people have their liberties and freedoms kept by which God wanted them to have.
Well, thank you so much, and that is Representative Walt Blackman.
Thank you, Walt. Thank you for running.
Doris, it's been a pleasure.
It has been a pleasure. I want to say one thing. It's Constitution Week coming up, starting on the 17th, I believe, is Constitution Day and Constitution Week. So we'd like to get out and remind everybody to go out there and get a copy of the Declaration of Independence or the copy of the Constitution and read it to your family, educate your family, but maybe they've never read it. Okay? That's what I want you all to do.
And you've been watching The Jay Lawrence Show. I'm Ray Michaels.
And I'm Doris Paxton. Thank you.
Till next time, we'll see you real soon.
Good night.
Hub Radio Phoenix is an internet-based podcast platform providing numerous special interest programs reaching over 100,000 viewers per week. Hi, I'm Ron Lutters, executive producer of Hub Radio Phoenix. We don't pretend to be journalists, but we're not afraid to say what's on our minds. We thank you for watching, liking, sharing, and subscribing to Hub Radio Phoenix. Stay tuned, stay faithful, as the best is yet to come.